to the ladies' room. Today, I'm back with another book review, bringing the ladies' room to you. Today, we're talking about The Institute by Stephen King. It is about 557 pages. Let's see. And let me get all the way ready for this. I am on the website. The website will be linked down in the description box, where this blog originated from, Mrs.LadiesRoom.org. All right, so let's get into it. My favorite quote in the book was, "Great events turn on small hinges," and I thought that was how you could sum this whole book up. It was so awesome. I'm just gonna spoil the review. So I opened the article up by how I usually do, which is my impressions before the book, at the beginning of the book, the middle of the book, the end of the book, and my final thoughts. So at the time, I was looking for a good book. It was a cool rainy night, and I thought of Stephen King. I went into my little library and found The Institute. After reading the back cover, I had a little bit of information, but I wouldn't say that I knew what I was getting myself into. So I flipped to the copyright and I see that it says 2019. And I was like, what? Recent? So, whoa, I was in it. And I want to say that before reading the book, I was pretty familiar with Stephen King's writing style. Most of us are. The very suspenseful, thrilling type of build-up that he has. At the beginning of the book, we're introduced to Tim. So Tim is a displaced cop, and his plan is to go to New York. I guess he got fired over some bull, and he was like, I'm gonna move to New York, and he ended up trading in his plane ticket and hitchhiking, and he ends up in DuPont, South Carolina, where he applies to be a night knocker. It's a small town, I guess, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a beat cop, or some type of beat. When the storyline shifts, you get more of a perspective on our other main character, Luke. And Luke is a prodigy child. He is on the fast track to MIT. And at the beginning of the book, he is kidnapped and brought to this institution. And he meets a girl named Kalisha. She briefs him on the whole thing, on what's really going down. And she introduces him to all of the kids. All the other kids. Is an institution full of kids. And none of them know why they're there. They just know that they're supposed to be serving their country. And he starts hearing about these experiments that are happening. So, I was all in this. I was like, what's going to happen next? How do these characters connect? So I kept reading. And towards the middle of the book, the momentum picks up a little bit. And I would say that me as a reader, I got to kind of see a little bit of behind the scenes of what was going on with these tests. So I I probably didn't pick it up as early as I should have, but these kids are telepathic and telekinetic. So the people who own the institute are running these tests on them, trying to figure out how to harness their power or figure out how their powers work so that they could duplicate it. And it seems like a black site situation. So uh, they're up to no good. Or even if they were up to good, there's some type of competition somewhere else of people who know about this telepathy and telekinesis. So Luke comes up with a plan to run away because all the kids are miserable. Like, the experiments are really rough on them. It drains them of their energy. A lot of the kids don't make it. I'm not even gonna lie, like, I kind of got teary-eyed at one point. Like, I don't even know why. I was just like, wow, they've been through so much, Um, then, so my, ugh. My next quote in here from the middle of the book was, God knows how long it's been going on, but there's never been a mutiny until now. And that wasn't until the middle of the book when we start getting like more of the history. Like, we hear about kids who have been there for a while. And I thought that what I thought was interesting at this point in the book was that Luke, the 12-year-old, had such a broader understanding of how what he does in this moment will impact everyone else. These kids are working for the government. They're super smart. They're telepathic, telekinetic, and he could see the impact that that would have on the world, like, moving forward. I mean, like, okay, so up until this point, time out. Up until this point, their powers manifested themselves in like very childish ways, which is what I found to be like one of the coolest parts of the book. Like, these are kids, so they're talking about all these things, like their extra special abilities and like the technicalities and like the difference of what type of telekinetic you are, what level of telepathy you have. But they're also very like the powers manifest themselves in childish ways, like when they get into arguments and fights and bicker with each other, like over toys or something more like childlike. And someone may move a shovel like from one end of the sandbox to the other. Like, they don't know how to harness their own power at this point. So after that, we get into like what the plan is, how they're going to execute it, and then we flip back to the police officer at the beginning and how they connect and where they meet. And I don't want to tell you about the end of the book, but knowing Stephen King and the pattern of his writing, you can kind of conclude what's going to happen, if you know what I mean. But I thought that the whole overall arc was phenomenal. And my next quote was, like bookends, there might be one in the UK and in Russia, India, and that was on page 497. So all in all, throughout the story, I like the child's perspective that he had, because usually, well, a lot of the times, I've read other Stephen King books and you never get, well, I haven't yet got to see the main character through the eyes of a child yet. I don't think. But I thought that the perspective was interesting, considering, they're in the midst of, we could just call it a war. And a war that they don't even know how they're a part of at this point. All in all, I also agreed the depth that this book had. It had a more sinister type of thrill to it. And I think I'm finding those to be more quicker reads for me, because I'm so interested in the storyline and I'm trying to guess who did what. I love murder mysteries, but I'm finding that this more sinister type of thriller is appealing to me. All in all, I said that I think that this is a great book to reach for if you're looking for lots of context, backstories. I did a little bit of research to add to the layers of this book. For example, there are many references to the Stasi bites. I think that's how you say it. Stasi. And apparently this was something that I want to say the Germans did years ago to help like induce trances, and like it was research that was done that shows that these lights can trigger things within your brain. So that was really interesting. That was one of the turning points for me in the book when I saw that it was rooted in research and context. So I would sure read I would love to read a sequel. I thought about that. If there was a sequel to this book, I would definitely read that. As far as the bananas, I think I would give this book 4 out of 5 bananas. 4 out of 5 bananas. I thought it was really good, and I would recommend it, and I would definitely read it again. It's not as fresh in my mind. I think I'm going to start doing these book reviews when the books are fresher in my mind, but I had to do this because my sister wanted to read this book and it just inspired me. I remembered reading it, and I recommend it for your book club if you have a book club, or if you're just looking for a quick read. So I think that's it. We did another one. Let's go. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, have you read this book? Did you like the book? If you have any comments, if you are thinking about reading this book, or if you have any other book suggestions, leave them down in the comment box, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.